Are you struggling with your finances? Are you struggling with your health? Are you having challenges or problems now? Do you know that coaching is one of the best ways to get your problem solved? Yes, if you are not familiar with coaching, let me give you an example of what coaching is about and how it is done. Because today I had the opportunity to, of course, be with one of the members of our Working Moms Academy Facebook group. For those members, we have over 350 plus members already. I would like to thank and welcome everybody who is already a member of Working Moms Academy Facebook group. For those of you who don't know me already, let me introduce myself. My name is Wanda Tankalupig. I am the founder of Working Moms Academy. Working Moms Academy is one of the finalists of the Built to Last Hackathon, the first female virtual hackathon in Southeast Asia in 2020. And Working Moms Academy's mission is, of course, to help moms overcome stress and burnout so moms can succeed personally and professionally. And our goal, of course, is to help working mothers by sharing life tools that education lacks through training, coaching, and a community of mothers working together. So today, let me bring one of my community members on board. And before that, I would like to greet our community manager, Karen, a belated happy birthday. Oh, please wish Karen a great birthday, a great health. This is what she said she wished for this year. So all of you, please greet my community manager, Karen, and wish her the best of health and pray for her. Best health for her and her family. And today, in a coaching scenario, what do we do? This is the third, or is it the fourth? I think this is the fourth coaching call of Working Moms Academy. This is a live coaching where our members can ask any question to me and I will answer the best way I can based on my own experience and based on my own expertise. And let me bring Joylee on stage now. Hi, Joylee. How are you today?
Hey Wanda, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for being part of the Working Moms Academy support group. For those of you who are not yet members of Working Moms Academy, I will drop here the link, okay, of the Working Moms Academy Facebook group. It's still free. So you can join now. You can get access to our webinars, to the previous recorded live coaching calls, and of course to the previous live webinars I had. So for the Academy had, I think 15 live webinars now, and this is going to be the fourth coaching call. So Joylee, can you tell us quickly something about yourself first of and what you do?
Okay, so para pasimple na lang siguro, I do a virtual assistant business. So I help people find opportunities in the virtual assistant and freelancing industry. I started as a virtual assistant 3 years ago, and ngayon parang dahil na-increase ko na yung client base, mas dumarami na yung need ko for new members to join me and help me with my tasks. So doon nag-start, and that's the one that's been keeping me busy lately, trying to find new members of my virtual assistant team.
Wow, that's very good. Actually, I mean, the pandemic disrupted everybody, right? And freelancing, if you've been doing it for the last 3 years already, I mean, you were already at the top. Because now people are just starting to understand what is freelancing, how can I go about it, what do I do? So for those of you who are interested on freelancing, please contact Joylee. I will drop her links. And Joylee, so how many kids do you have?
I have two. I have an 8-year-old and a 1-year-old turning to this July.
Wow. So that's still the early stages, right? But I think, I miss my kids when they were that age, 2 years old. They're still after you. When they reach that, I mean, that age of 8, they start to have their own, lives, I'll say. They start to have their own interests. Even if I say, let's play, baby, they're like, but mommy, we don't like your game. So,
And
that's a very good stage.
I'm exclusively breastfeeding this 2-year-old, this going 2-year-old. So it's been fun, fun and hard at the same time.
I've been there, I think I breastfed my youngest for 2 years. So for those mothers who are breastfeeding their children, I want to salute you and honor you. I know how tough it is. I know how difficult, but as I look at my children now, I'll say I thank myself for the patience because they are very healthy. Really, breastfeeding is something that's very good. So, Joylee, what is your question for me today?
Okay, sige, Wanda. Well, given my background, no, I've been busy with starting up this new business, helping people get into freelancing, and also establishing a family, raising a family. And one of the very hardest parts of this, kasi I really love doing what I do. I mean, I feel happy when I help people, when I parang may feeling na fulfilled ako. I really feel valued and validated whenever I help a person, get a job, get matched with their perfect client, ganyan. Pero, so parang ang nagiging issue ko, how do I balance um, two things that I really love the most. I love my family. I really want to spend time with them. But I also like doing this. I really want to build this career. I really feel that I'm good at this. So that's where I am right now. And most of the times, I feel consumed by work so much that I don't find time for the family. Sometimes naman I feel consumed by the family so much that I don't think I'm performing well with my job. So how do you? Yeah, I need you with that. How do I keep the optimum level for both of those things? To be able to fulfill my responsibilities.
Thank you for that question. Joylee, you are not alone. Actually, most of the mothers I met who are working, be it freelancing, be it in corporate, have the same problem. How do I really find the balance? Because either I find myself very busy at work and then I was like, oh my God, I feel so guilty that I did not spend time with my children. And sometimes when you spend so much time with them, you also at the back of your mind think of, I still have so many things I need to do. So how do you really find the balance? But I think I want to ask you that question first. What does balance mean to you? Because see, what I've also find is that everybody have their own definition of balance. I'll give you my definition first. Because what I also learned is that even if I spend 8 hours or 12 hours of working, but if I dedicate at least 5 minutes of my time, dedicated time with my children, at least every day, that's balance for me. Because I also learned that I can be with my children 8 hours a day because I actually left corporate in 2016 because I felt so much guilty of not spending the time with my children. They're already that time, so my it's they're 6 and 4. And now, study said the critical age of your children is 0 to 7, and you have to be there for them. And I felt so much guilt that as an audit manager, I've been so busy that I felt I did not give them the time and attention. But when I left my corporate job also, as you said, the job is something that gives you value and it makes you validated, right? Knowing that you're doing something not only for yourself but for your family. And even if I was already a housewife then, I can be there also all the time, but I wasn't there because either I was very busy with the housework or I was occupied with so many things. And I was telling myself, I was actually not an effective housewife at all because I was not giving that dedicated time and attention that I used to give my children when I was working. Because before, when I was working, I have two house help that helps me with the kids. And then as soon as I arrive from home, I mean, work is done and I have the time to play with my children, to speak to them. But when I started to become a housewife, because I want to experience being one, okay, I was really doing everything and I got lost in the process and I've lost the balance myself. So that is when I asked myself, what is really balance for me? Because I think I was in that circle of losing the balance because it wasn't clear for me at that point in time. So fast forward to today, I define balance as, getting to do what I love, getting paid for it, and also having that flexibility of time to take a break when I need to, having the time to at least have 5 to 10 minutes a day to be only with my children. So that is how I define balance now. Because when I get to take that, then I'm at peace because I know that each one have their own journey. And sometimes most of the problems I have is because I used to compare myself with other people when we really have our own journey. And today I want to ask you that question. And for those who are watching us on live or on replay, I want you to just ask yourself that question also. What does balance mean to you? Because it's easier to reach that once you are clear with that also. And it's not it could be based on what others are doing, but I want you to be clear it from your heart. What does really balance to you? Because you love your family, that's very clear. You love what you're doing, and that's both good. And I don't think you need to leave a career in order to take care of your family, because there's a lot of misconception about that as well. And I've been there. So I want to save women from the confusion that I had. So Joylee, ask me, just tell me, what does balance to you now? What do you think from your heart is the meaning of balance?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same as yours. Just making sure na meron akong time for the family in any given day. Um, while also being at my optimum level and performance at work. So yeah, all those things make sense. Yeah, sometimes it's just so hard. Parang ang hirap lang talagang hatiin ng katawan mo and, mag-adjust na, okay, this time it's for the family. Okay, this time is for work, for this client. Ayun. So, parang medyo minsan na ano ko na, nako-consume ako ng buong proseso na yun. Doon
Okay.
ako
So
nahihirapan.
I understand it. Okay, let's first talk about time with your children. Do you have what when are the times that you are with them fully? Like for example, for me, I one of the non-negotiables for me and my children. First, I have to bring them to school in the morning. Even if the school is 20 steps away from our house, I need to get up and bring them to the gate. That is a non-negotiable for them. Second, before they sleep, they need to pray with me. And then I'll bring them to bed. So those are the three non-negotiables for my children. If we do that, I feel, and that for me is the balance. So what are those rituals that you do with your children every day?
Well, I homeschool my 8-year-old. So meron kaming hours, 2 or 3 hours a day na for homeschooling. And I play with them. I do exercises with them in the afternoon. Tapos sa gabi, meron ding a little playtime before and reading the books before sleeping. And also yung meals. We share all meals, all the 3 meals together. So hindi pwedeng hindi may isang nauuna or or may isang nahuhuli, walang ganon.
See, that actually, Joyly, see, if I mean, based on what you're saying now, you actually are spending a lot of great time with your children already. So, sometimes lang we don't get to see it because we don't account for it. So, do you do time accounting? I mean, one of the things that I always encourage people to do, because time is like, for me, time is more important than money because it's how you manage your time, right? That can make you more productive. So, in your 24 hours a day, how many of that is you spend with your children and with your family? Because once you are clear that I have 24 hours a day, okay, if you are clear already that I have 24 hours a day and this much of time is I have with my children, with the work that I have to do, and it's just about accounting in first, okay? And then asking yourself, am I happy with this time that I'm giving to them? If you're okay with that, then you either do more of that if you want to, or you keep it at that level. Also, second is that also thinking of, when people start to do time accounting, there's really a lot of lost hours. I mean, I did this training maybe 2 weeks back, and I have like 100 attendees, and they were like, Miss Wanda, I'm missing 2 hours. I don't know where my 2 hours went really. Because a lot of people complain about the lack of time, but when you do time accounting, there's actually a lot of time that is unaccountable for. And so based on based on your sharing now on the current time that you're spending with your children, are you happy with that? Are you recognizing that? That's the first question. Are you recognizing those times that those are actually bonding time with your family already? And are you happy with that time? Because sometimes you just don't account for it. I mean, based on what you said, maybe I'll say you're spending already 4 to 5 hours of your 24 hours a day with your family, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So are you happy with that number already, or you want more of that?
Yeah, so that's the point. So I have So I have that in my mind, like this is what I'm gonna do. This is my ideal setup. And I think this is like a follow up question. So how do I maintain consistency? So I already know what balance is. For example, I this is my kind of balance. This is what makes me happy when I do this amount of hours, when I spend this amount of hours with my kids and at work. But it doesn't happen every single day. I mean, there are days that I'm just crazy with work, and there are days when So how do I become consistent with the plans and the accounting and and finding the balance at home and at work?
That's another very good question. What I want to answer, Joylee, is that see, consistency every day is actually boring. This is what I want to tell you. I used to always, have this time schedule also, but it wasn't working for me. And I used to consistently battle with myself. I have that stress that I was supposed to do these things, I was not able to do it. But also, what you have to understand, and what I learned last year, we women have 4 cycles. Let me just open my phone to be correct. And the moment we are clear in which cycle we are, because we women, we have, let me just open my phone. So we have 4 cycles based on our menstrual period, and the best way for you to hack it is to understand where you're at. So there's follicular, ovulation, luteal, and menstrual. And if there's actually, I'll share an app later what I'm doing. When I learned this, see, you can have, like, say, for example, I'm in some stage, I'm in luteal now, and what is saying here is that what is up with your hormones? This is a good week for completing tasks and checking off items on your to-do list. Carve out large chunks of focus time to do the project work and get it done. So really, for us women, what I used to struggle with having consistency every day. But what I also learned is that we women have different cycles that we need to align ourselves with. There are really those days that you are so much into work because you're in that menstrual cycle of your period, which you need to maximize. So when I am in that stage, I have that conversation with my children that see, mommy really wants to do this and I need to complete this, right? So I just have that conversation with them that if you need mommy urgently, you tell me. But right now, I just have to finish this because I have that momentum. But also, there are periods of the week or the days that I just need to rest, and I just need to rest. And when that time comes, I really give myself the time. And also, that's the time that I am fully 100% with my children because that's the way for me to get my energy back. So I think also, Joy Lacey, one of the reasons why we are stressed because we always want consistency every day. But what I also want to tell you is because that is your that's your expectation. But the reality is different from the expectation because our body operates on a different cycle. So our logic says you have to do this, 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 and that, but our body is not designed for that, especially women. So when I started to understand that, oh wait, I have 4 cycles that that's really there are days that I don't feel like working, there are days I just need to rest. And when I honor that, I have more energy to bring to the work that I need to do the next day, or there are more days I have more patience to deal with my children. So when you understand your menstrual cycle, and what are the things you need to do, what are the things you need to eat and to focus on, you can have so much productivity. And I will share to you that app. It's called Flow Living Up by Alisa Vitali. Actually, in one of the podcasts I listened to her, and I'm just curious. I tried it, and it worked so much for me. So a lot of people are asking me, how can I manage, a full-time job and then this weekend coaching live and live webinars and articles and everything in between? And I said, because I learned to work with my body. Actually, in one of the webinars I did in February, it's called Body Compassing, How to Listen to Your Body. I will also share that in the link later. I have to browse through. But in that, webinar, Martin De Luna, my coach, also shared, how do you listen to your body? Because the problems now for us humans, we really became human doing, do. But we forgot that we had to rest. And thankfully for women, there is something that is guiding us, which is our body. And if you can understand that, if you can do that, that is the best, Joylee. So I'm excited for you. When you understand that, it really brings so much in terms of productivity, so much happiness also because you've done something for yourself, and it really has so much impact, I'll say. So do you have did that answer your question?
Yeah, it makes sense. I wanna try that. I'm so excited. Naniniwala talaga ako dyan sa mga natural means of taking care of our health and also in measuring our productivity. So I wanna try it. I wanna see if it if it brings results, and I'm sure it will.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. There's also something called the power of sleep. I mean, there is the book from, I forgot his one, but it's the book, The Power of When. They said there are four types of people. Also, there is the bear, the lion, the wolf, and there's one more. And see, if you look at the 8 to 5 job, that's a bear type design. There's, based on our sleep chronology, you can also, there are best times for you to sleep, there are best times for you to exercise. So if you actually go to that website, The Power of When, or if you just Google sleep chronotype, you can take the sleep chronotype test and think of which am I, in which category do I fall. Because if you can also hack your sleep, hack the time that you need to exercise, it's a combination of that as well that works well for me. Also understanding what chronotype am I, because sometimes you feel like you're more productive in the afternoon, sometimes you're more productive in the morning also, because there's also something called sleep chronotype that you need to align your body with. And when you understand that, and also coffee, Joylee, what I also learned, coffee, sometimes we said you have to drink coffee at the time we wake up, right? To wake our body up. But the reality is that I forgot the name again, but there was podcast where I listened to. He was an expert and he was saying that if you drink coffee 90 minutes after you wake up, that's the best way for the coffee to work for you. That's really the best way for, and there are times of the day when you just have to, if you drink coffee also at 2 p.m., that is actually disrupting your sleep. That you cannot have the best sleep if you still take coffee after 2 o'clock. So there's a lot of really guidance in terms of what food to eat. The food that we eat also impacts a lot of our productivity. When I tried green juicing last year also, I was able to have so much energy just by juicing fresh vegetables like kale, avocado, cucumber, because also the food that we eat impacts our productivity. When I eat sugar, I actually am more lazy. I realized that. But when I started to take this green juice, I can work until 10 p.m., 12 a.m. I have so much energy. So the food that you eat, if you can also account for that, actually the Flow Living app, the best thing about it, it will also tell you what is the right food to eat based on your cycle. And what is the best exercise for you to do based on your cycle. So just simply using that and understanding with your body, and also being nice with yourself. See, Joyly, right? I mean, you are feeling the loss of balance because you are expecting something, the consistency in your everyday, but it's not bound to happen. You're not designed for that either, because you're a woman. So that learning really changed me, and I hope that's helpful for you today. Did that help you? And do you have any other questions for me?
Was so helpful. Yeah, I don't think I have questions right now, but it was really helpful, and I'm excited to try those things that you shared. Thanks so much, Wanda.
Most welcome, Joyly. So what I'm gonna do, for those of you who are not yet members of our Working Moms Academy Facebook group, I'm gonna tell Karen, because in the detox program I did January, we have there the sleep chronotype, and also I have there in terms of the Flow Living app. So in terms of the phases in your body, so I'll just ask Karen to get it from the other detox group that I have, to move those two materials in the Working Moms Academy Facebook group. So for those who want to understand, how can I really become more productive? Just understanding how my body works through the Flow Living up and my sleep chronotype, that can really help you achieve more and accomplish more. And also, Joy, I would like to invite you next week. Actually, we have a webinar called How to Manage Time, How to Work Less and Accomplish More. So one of my guests is actually my advisor, Grace. and she is actually a time management expert. So from a fellow mom who is an expert at this, let's listen what Grace has to say, because what I'm sharing now is what worked well for me for the past few, actually it was only last year, but it gave me so much results. So I know there's a lot of things you can learn from her. So I hope you can join that live webinar. Also today, in the next 35 minutes, I have one live webinar. It's how to program yourself for success using your mindset. See, also, if you can hack that, there's so many things you can accomplish. And I know Jean can share a lot of information. So I hope you can join our live webinar later. And if you do have questions, just type it live and we will answer it for you. So thank you again, Joylee. For those who are watching us on live or on replay, please join Working Moms Academy Facebook group. You get the chance to have a free hot seat coaching with me. You get the chance to watch the live webinars and the recordings. So Joylee, do you have anything you need to promote? Please do, because I know whatever you're doing in the virtual assistance world can help a lot of working mothers.
Thank you, Wanda. And also share with me yung link to webinar. I wanna join that. I think I need that. Okay, so yeah, I think I only have a few things. So I started a podcast to help yung mga VA and freelancers na wala pa sa industry and they want to get started. They don't know where to go. You can first go to my podcast, okay, to listen to the things that I've already talked about. I'm interviewing Rockstar VAs in that podcast. The name of the podcast is Rockstar V.A Society. Okay, I'll share the link to I share the link to Wanda, and the email address is also there, so you can ask questions if you have any. And also, my biggest event is coming up on April 24 at 2 p.m. It's gonna be by Zoom. So i-email ko lang yung mga links sa mga nag-sign up sa form. I'm only needing 100 participants, and right now may mga 60 RSVPs na ako. So I'm only a few slots away from being fully booked. So if you wanna know how to get started with VA and freelancing, go ahead and join that webinar with me. I'm also sending the link to Wanda. Thanks so much, Wanda.
Thank you. Please get in touch with Joylee. I already dropped her podcast here. Also dropped her email address, her LinkedIn link, so you can get in touch with her. Thank you, Joylee. If you're into virtual assistants, there's so many things I need. Karen knows. So Karen, let us get in touch with Joylee how she can help us. And I think really the future of the world is freelancing. So
Yeah.
if you want to jump in that boat, this is the right time. And if Joylee is the right person who can teach you that, please join her. Can you drop me that? Is there event registration link that you have?
Yeah, I have. Let's see. I can send the
Okay, so
link.
for those of you, a lot of people were questioning about freelancing, right? But I think the last year was a wake up call for everybody that a lot of things can be accomplished at home, and freelancing is really the future. So please understand what freelancing is, how it can help you, how it can benefit you. So get in touch with Joylee, Rockstar V.A Society podcast at gmail.com. Also listen to her podcast. That's good if you are interviewing. So do you do podcast? Do you create podcast also for other people
What do you mean? You mean
as a VA service? Like for example, for me, I've been wanting to start my own podcast for a while now. So you
yeah,
do that as well?
I
Wow.
can find the perfect fit for you. I can match you with the perfect VA that can help you with your podcast
Wow, that
needs,
would be very helpful.
your marketing. Yeah,
Okay, because that's one of the things in my bucket list. I want to have my own podcast someday. I'm just too busy with this live webinar and live coaching. But thank you for that. So please register. I just dropped the link here.
yeah.
Register and learn about freelancing. Register in Joyley's event. And again, I would like to invite you to Working Moms Academy's Facebook group. Okay, because that is the best way for us to learn from each other, and of course, to get access to a lot of free materials and connect with other amazing mothers. So thank you, Joylee, for your time. Thank you again to the working moms who are watching us live or on replay. Thank you. God bless you, Joylee. Bye.